Hey guys, Oded from Members Only Barbecue. Today we're going to show you everything you know to make beautiful picanha on the Kamado Joe. Hey guys, we've got a top cut today. This is the top sirloin cap with a thick fat cap up top, kind of a triangular shaped piece of meat. I've made this three different ways. One is I've sliced this into thick pieces that we then do on the rotisserie Brazilian style picanha, where you kind of fold them up into half moons all up and down the skewer. I've done these where I slice this into steaks and then just grill them as steaks, just like that, which is delicious. You just want to follow the grain as it goes and then slice against the grain for those. But for today, what we're going to be doing is a whole roast, kind of like the difference between a prime rib and a ribeye steak. We're going to cook this whole, so we're going to get this prepared now. It's awesome. We're going to do some minimal prep to this fat cap here, but I am going to do some small incisions into the fat cap, not to the level of the meat, but just a little bit so that when this renders down, it's a little bit more kind of chewable, much softer when we smoke it. And I'm going to do this in a cross-hatch pattern, just shallow cuts, and then we'll go 90 degrees. I like to do this whenever I have a big roast with a fat cap. I find that it's just a lot more appetizing at the very end, and it lets you get some salt into these nooks and crannies. So that's the cross hatch, and then we're going to dry brine this with kosher salt. We're going to do all sides, and what this is going to do is pull some moisture out of the roast. We're going to have this uncovered in the refrigerator, and the beauty of this is some of the salt is going to penetrate into the meat to give us some salty flavor there and get us a much better crust as the moisture evaporates. You just want to make sure if you're dry brining, you leave at least 2 hours, but ideally overnight up to 24 hours is how we like to do it. We've got all sides salted. If you have one of these kind of racks that can fit in a pan, I recommend that just so air can flow underneath here as well and kind of pseudo dry age this. If not, you can put it down, but maybe flip it once, and this is going to go in the fridge overnight. We're going to cook this picanha on the Connected Joe. I've set this up for indirect heat with our ceramic deflector plates. And I had some wood chunks in there from the previous cook that I'm going to let go. I think with steak, a little bit of smoke goes a long way, so I wouldn't hammer it with a bunch of pieces like you would a big piece of pork, for example. But I think one chunk is plenty for this. And then we're going to set this up for 250 degrees. So we're going to close the door, follow all the instructions here on the Connected Joe, set that up for 250, press our ignition button here, and then it's going to tell us to adjust the top vent to very slightly open right here, and then we'll let this warm up, get to 250, we'll get the meat on. We're stabilized at 250. Just pull this out of the fridge. This is essentially a 24-hour dry brine. You can see how a lot of the fat has come in, a lot of the salt has gotten into the fat. You can really notice it on the meat side. I mean, you don't see any salt flakes at all. It's very important you don't add more salt now. This is all the salt that we need. We're going to hit this with a little bit of pepper and then get it inside. One thing to be aware of anytime we've got beautiful pieces of meat is where is the grain? Where are the muscle fibers traveling? You can see the muscle fibers here in lines. And what's very important at the very end is we're going to slice against those muscle fibers perpendicular. That's going to slice through the fiber, make it much more tender to chew. Because if you slice with these fibers, it's going to be incredibly tough, difficult to chew, even if it's a beautiful piece of meat that you cooked perfectly. So you just want to be aware where the grain is going and then slice against the grain. Our grill is stabilized at 250. We're going to set the picanha in the center of the grill, And then we have our meat thermometer probe that we want to come into the center of the roast in the deepest part. And we're going to shoot for 120 degrees Fahrenheit. We just hit 120 internal temperature on the picanha. That took us a little less than 1 hour. See, the fat looks really good, and that lower temperature is going to help that render. Now we're going to take it off the heat. So I'm going to turn the grill off and reconfigure the grill for some high heat searing. I'm just going to remove our grates here, get the ceramic deflector plates off. Remove this piece here. Now I'm going to get the grates back on in the lower setting. And this is going to be just closer to the fire, closer to the heat. It'll be helpful for the sear. I'm going to open up down here all the way and turn the power off just because we're going to be pumping a lot of heat in here. And then up top, I'm going to shoot for about 650 degrees on this sear. Now, one thing I like to do, because I'm a bit of a freak, is while the grill is heating up, I like to take some beef tallow, rub it on the meat portion. I don't think you need it for the fat, but that, when it hits the hot flames, is going to crisp up and get us an absolutely beautiful crust. Our grill's heated up to 600 degrees. Happened pretty quick, the nice airflow we have. Now I'm going to get the picanha fat side down. We're going to go 1 minute per side. We've gone 1 minute. We're going to give this a flip. Looks delicious. Because this is a larger piece of meat, we rested this for 20 minutes and it still came out very hot. So don't worry about resting this. We just want to make sure the juices reincorporate. And then super important that we're slicing against the grain. We're going to hammer that point home because that's what lets these pieces come out so incredibly tender. And you see all the juice running through this roast. I mean, a lot of that has to do with the dry brine that we did for 24 hours. Really does beautiful things to the meat, but slicing against the grain, just beautiful cook on this. Really, really happy. 120 degrees Fahrenheit got us to this perfect temperature. We like to finish this with some homemade chimichurri, parsley, oregano, red pepper, garlic, little red wine vinegar, olive oil, salt, and pepper. If you're not going to do that, we definitely recommend hitting this with a nice finishing salt, some Maldon or a fleur de sel, just to get some more salt onto this roast. But this turned out absolutely delicious. We loved it. Highly recommend this recipe. Let us know if you try it in the comments.